It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And coming up, it'll be no holds barred between AFC East rivals. It's the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. And it's coming up next.
On a warm, late summer afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just... Here's the punter, Braden Mann, set to do the honors, and we are underway at MetLife Stadium. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet it before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Ready.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house. So they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
From the 25 on second down, Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless. And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
The tackle by Quincy Williams.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 35 on second down, Tua. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jet 16. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down. Ready.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Tua. Open man is Waddle, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. They gotta love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here come the Jets for their initial possession of the game. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback from Western Kentucky by way of South Florida. It's Mike White. And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And he's got room. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 2nd and 13, White. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now White. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jalen Phillips, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go.
There is a hush indeed. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that... 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Here we go, set.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Let's go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And able to get this to the 31.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
That was a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Tua sets up to pass it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. John Franklin Myers, the running tackle.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there. Saying not so fast to a good drive. Didn't march to the end zone the last time out.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flushed out, and the pressure gets to him again. John Franklin Myers drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down. So not only do you not get the first down, but you've also made things a lot more difficult on your field goal kicker.
Yeah, they're still in range, but you're exactly right.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But that's always a risk on those longer kicks. You have to drive it low to get it there. That opened the door for a better chance for the defense to get a hand on it, and that's just what we saw there.
And even if the odds increase a little bit because it's a longer field goal attempt, it's still difficult to get hands on the football and create a block. Big-time excitement for that unit, getting through and knocking that one away.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start, but how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him.
White's throw complete there to Moore. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. From the shotgun, here's White. Forced out to his left. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 23. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. White looks to throw. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now White. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this will stay at a 7-point game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And just inside of a minute left, Charles, they got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. Take it at the 37. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, it's White. This is caught. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson as the first half is winding down. And the Jets have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. not wanting to risk anything here late in the half. He'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's got a man, complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Give them 32 on the play.
Come on, back.
Tua going to throw. It's brought in by Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats for that first half for Miami. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they too didn't do a whole lot in terms of rushing efficiency in that first half, as you can tell by the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Well, the Jets head out on offense here to start this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 41 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
To the 43, second down.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6. White. He finds Corey Davis. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 33. That one goes for 24 yards. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 30 on 2nd down, White to the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Robinson up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. White, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Carter. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Mostert. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ready, go!
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. From just shy of midfield, Tua. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Out of the gun on third down, here's Tua. He is going to find Hill here. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. A third down gain of 19.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to the running game with Mostert. And he's got it down to the 28. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
His afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
On 2nd and 7, Tua. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. A run with Mostert up the middle. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Sanders is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Jets now down 13-10. A minute 52 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. The defense gets a hand on it, but he still grabs it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. He'll look to throw. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 2nd down. He's back to throw. He's got the connection to Moore. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now there's the timeout signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. This to tie things up in the final minute. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know, from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
First throw of the OT session for Tua. On the right side, open is Gesicki. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with it.
3rd 3rd-and-8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Play action. Now it's Tua. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
From midfield, here's Tua. Flush to his right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
And like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
No surprise there. He was looking for one of his favorite targets again as soon as he left the pocket. But the coverage was good downfield. They got right to the receiver and helped prevent that completion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They hand it off to Mostert. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Here we go. Here we go. Let's go.
Here's Tua. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he will have a Dolphins first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Tua to throw. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Ready.
Tua. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans screaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, David.
I kind of figured that was coming.
The New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Holding. Offense.
They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually got to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a first throw here in overtime. Escaping the pressure run. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Bradley Chubb picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's White. Flushed out right. And that is caught. It's Davis. Finding space at the 40. There he goes, right side. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, in overtime, I think coaches always want to use that magic line for the kicker. They're already in field goal range after that big play.
I'm glad you brought that up because that magic line can change throughout the game. It's constantly being updated by teams. It starts with pregame. Okay, how do you feel? As the game goes on, they might ask him again. Still feel that same number? Is it a different number? Right hash, left hash, what do you need? And that goes into the play calling in OT.
12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's a 5-yard touchdown run. So Brian, it's a passing game to drive them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took it home.
And they trust their offensive line as well because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
A trick shot on the extra point, but it is good off the left upright. And that will tie things at 20 all. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Miami's offense set and ready to go. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next. And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Tua
eluding the pressure right.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
A partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. White's throw here going to be caught by Wilson.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Robinson again on 2nd down.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Now White with a first down throw. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. On the move past the 40. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
59 yards on the ground for him so far.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So it all rests now on the right foot of Jason Sanders. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.